So what was it like for my family when we went to Walmart together? And this is a story that, quite frankly, still makes me shiver and tremble with pain and just kind of, but I'm gonna tell it to you just so you understand what I went through. My dad, I want you to imagine that you're about to walk into Walmart. Here's a Walmart right here. And I want you to imagine you're just gonna go in for a simple trip. You're just buying some laundry detergent. And you thought you were gonna have a 5-minute trip until you met my dad, who's right behind you. He's over here. Okay, and my dad, I'm behind my dad. I'm hoping and praying he's not going to embarrass me. Guarantee he's going to embarrass me, okay? So my dad's right here. A couple things about my dad. He spoke twice as loud as everybody else. And it's not that he didn't want to have an inside voice. Nobody ever told him there was such a thing as an inside voice. It was talk loud all the time. That was my dad, right? So another thing about my dad and my culture, my mom as well, just our whole culture, is there's 2 ingredients we put in all our foods. And these ingredients are onions and garlic. Onions and garlic. This is a true story I'm about to tell you. There was an Ethiopian graduation one time. For us, graduation is a big deal. 100 people might be there. And 9 or 10 Ethiopian women will get together and cook all the food for the graduation. No catering, right? We'll cook it ourselves. And my mom told me, hey, I want you to go to the store and I want you to buy all their onions, okay? Not 5 bags, 10 bags. So I went to the store, and it was 2 full shopping carts of onions filled to the top. The manager got mad because those onions were supposed to last the big store for the whole weekend. So bring those onions back home. You're gonna cut them up, small pieces, throw that garlic in there in that big pot with them, and let them simmer for 3 or 4 hours. You know what that means? It means by the time that Ethiopian food gets done cooking and simmering, every last molecule, every last fiber of clothing in the house smells like garlic and onions. You know what that means? When you show up at school, people will smell you from around the corner. They're like, oh, there goes Maui. I just smelled some onion and garlic, right? It's not a mystery, right? So here's my dad. He's about to walk in. You're in front of him. You probably start to smell something. You're like, there's something smell. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is, but it's a strong smell. Final thing before your encounter that you need to know is my dad, he always introduced himself a certain way to people. He'd always, first thing he'd say, if he met you, he'd say, Ekas! Excuse me. So for him, excuse me was a 7-second word, and you had to leave some space between the X and the Q's, and you had to leave like a good, you need to like drive a car through it, right? A lot of space there, so nobody knew what he was talking about, right? He thought he was being polite. He's just confusing people. So you're about to walk in, and I'm watching my dad. I've seen this script played out a lot of times. I know what's about to happen. So everybody go like this. This is your arm. Go like this. All right, everybody do it. Now take your other hand and just go ahead and grab it. That's my dad grabbing your arm, okay? You're gonna turn around. You're gonna see my dad. What would you do? Would you try to run? Would you text somebody, help? What would y'all do? Seriously. You've never met this man before, because you know what he's going to say to you next? He's going to say, Ekas, excuse me, where sale paper? Exactly. You have no idea what he wants you to do. Even if you weren't completely confused and bewildered, somebody had grabbed your arm, you were trying your best, you had no idea what he's saying. You know what he wants you to do? He wants you to walk over with him. And you don't have a choice, by the way. If you try to move away, he's going to take your arm, okay? So you're moving with him. He wants you to go over to the rack, where all the sales leaflets are. It says, here's what's on sale at Walmart for the next week. He wants you to read through every single page and advise him on what he should purchase for his family for the upcoming week. I'm over here. You know what my job is? Fit in. Okay, that's my only job in America. I need to fit in. Is that going to happen? It's not going to happen. And keep this in mind. That's outside the store. We're not even inside the store yet. We haven't even gotten to the aisles, to the different sections. This is all outside before we get inside. I gotta tell you, it took me till I was about 21 years old where I could go anywhere. I could go anywhere and say, hey, that's my father Haila Ab, my mother Tsige. They smell like onions and garlic. They talk twice as loud as you do. They're hard to understand, but you know what? I love them with every single part of who I am, and there's nothing that anybody on the planet could ever do to make me feel even the tiniest bit ashamed of where I come from.